Some people don't stay home because they're afraid of life. They stay home because the world has become too loud, too noisy, too demanding. And at some point, their minds learned a silent truth. The safest place isn't an address, it's a state. If you've ever felt your energy evaporate just thinking about going out, if crowds make you feel more empty than alive, if you've ever refused an invitation and felt relief before feeling guilt, stay with me. Because today, we're not going to judge those who love staying home. We're going to decipher it. And in the end, you'll understand something that almost no one dares to say out loud. Home isn't a hiding place. Home is how some minds survive the modern world. Tu, an outsider, staying home seems like avoiding life, as if life were out there, passing by the window, and you were choosing quiet as if it were a surrender. But in psychology, what seems like escape is often something else. Regulation. The nervous system is always measuring the world. Noise, unpredictability, social pressure, the subtle threat of being judged. For some people, the outside world is not neutral. It is an excessive stimuli, and home is the only place where this excess finally diminishes. Think of it like a book with pages turning too fast. Most people can keep up, but some minds are sensitive to the rhythm of the story. So they pause, they return to the same chapter. A familiar room, a predictable environment, a silence that doesn't demand performance. Home becomes less a place and more a reset button. And here the first truth appears. People who love staying at home are generally not less alive. Their lives happen largely on the inside. Meaning isn't measured by events. It's measured by emotional stability, clarity, and the simple feeling of breathing without needing to impress anyone. Many people who prefer to stay at home have a very vibrant inner world. Not because they are disconnected from reality, but because their minds are constantly producing meaning, thoughts, patterns, memories, scenarios, ideas. Private cinema playing behind their eyes. And home is where this cinema ceases to be chaos and becomes something that can be watched calmly, without interruption. There's a reason some people can sit by a window, sipping a hot drink, and feel a kind of fulfillment. It's not emptiness, it's inner presence. The mind isn't dead, it's organized. And when the world stops screaming, the inner world becomes a library. It doesn't become a battlefield. If life were a novel, extroverted environments would be like chapters in a crowded marketplace. Color, noise, movement. But some people are made for the chapter where the character sits alone in a room and finally listens to their own thoughts. Not because nothing happens, but because everything that matters happens in silence. That's why staying home can feel like returning to oneself. It's not always comfort. Sometimes it's a reunion. Many people reduce this to one word, introversion. But the truth is more precise. Some people prefer to stay home to conserve emotional energy. Socializing has a cost, not because they hate people, but because social environments demand micro-decisions all the time. What to say, how to react, how to appear normal, how to keep up with a pace that may not be their own. Even many extroverts reach a point where stimulation turns into exhaustion. The problem isn't whether you like people, it's whether your nervous system can handle the speed of the world without turning your mind into noise. And modern life has made it worse. The world is no longer just out there, it lives in your pocket. Notifications, comparisons, trends, the pressure to be available, the pressure to seem interesting. For some people, staying home is the only place where they stop being a public version of themselves. Home gives you something rare, permission to exist without editing. Overstimulation isn't just loud noise, it's emotional unpredictability. Crowds, social tension, crosstalk, bright lights, fast-paced movement. Even small talk can weigh on you when your mind is already tired. For some people, the outside world feels like a place where the music is too loud and no one can turn it down. Home is where you control the volume, the light, the rhythm, the distance. This control is not weakness, it's self-knowledge. It's someone recognizing what drains them, what triggers anxiety, what constricts their body, what scatters their thoughts. In a way, this preference is a silent intelligence, because those who understand their limits early on avoid self-destruction later. They don't chase after chaos calling it life. They choose environments that allow them to remain whole, creative, stable. There is a modern emptiness born from constant stimulation. The feeling of being everywhere and yet nowhere. People who love staying at home often don't avoid the world. They avoid this emptiness. If this is resonating with you, if you've already felt this relief, this quiet clarity, take advantage of it and support the channel. Leave a like and subscribe to Lucidus. Here we don't make noise. We create clarity. And the next part goes even deeper. The world often mislabels those who stay at home. You're missing out on life. You should go out more. Don't you get bored? These phrases carry a hidden accusation, as if a quiet life were incomplete. As if happiness were only real when it's noisy. As if rest were laziness. As if silence were failure. But this isn't psychology. This is culture. A culture that loves movement because it fears silence. Because silence forces the question that many people avoid. What do you feel when there is no distraction? If you've ever felt guilty after saying no, you're not alone. This guilt doesn't always stem from your values. It stems from a social script, like a book that everyone reads without questioning its truth. And some people, one day, stop following that script. They realize something crucial. Their calmness is not a flaw. Their solitude is not weakness. It is another form of strength. A strength that doesn't need attention to exist. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is when you feel unwanted. Solitude is when you feel whole. You can feel alone in the middle of a party, surrounded by voices that don't reach you, and you can feel complete in silence because your mind finally slows down. People who love staying home often have something rare, self-compassion. The ability to be alone without panicking, without needing constant distractions, without needing the world validating their existence every hour. This doesn't mean they never feel lonely. It means they know the difference. They know when they need connection, and they know when they need rest. Many people confuse these two needs and spend their lives tired. A quiet person learns early. Sometimes the most healing conversation is the one you have with yourself, without an audience. Now comes a deeper layer. Sometimes home is loved because the world has let you down. A betrayal, a broken friendship, a moment when your feelings were too big for others to handle. Not because you were too much, but because the environment was too small. So you built a place where you don't have to apologize for being sensitive. A place where your nervous system can trust. A place where your boundaries aren't tested in every conversation. A place where your heart doesn't have to wear armor. This doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've adapted. And adaptation is human. Like a character in a book, learning which rooms are safe, which voices are kind, which places don't require you to become someone else. Sometimes, staying home isn't about avoidance. It's about emotional wisdom. It's about knowing where your peace resides. There's a secret that many people who love staying home almost never talk about. They love deeply. They care silently. They notice everything. Because when distractions disappear, attention becomes a form of affection. They perceive details that most ignore. The size someone hid, the weight behind a message, the difference between words and truth. They don't want 100 shallow connections. They want a real connection. They don't want novelty all the time. They want meaning. And because they feel intensely, they protect that intensity. Not like a wall, but like a boundary. So, if you're someone who loves staying home, listen to this clearly. You're not strange. You're not fragile. You're not wasting your life. You're building a life that doesn't drain you. And one day, when the world out there is a little more aligned with your heart, you will go out. Not because you were pushed, but because you chose to. Until then, maintain your rituals. Protect your silence. Take care of your mind, because some people don't run to the noise to feel alive. Some minds feel more alive when the world finally becomes quiet. And if you want more of this, more clarity without illusion, subscribe to Lucidus. The next video goes even deeper.